Hey everybody, I am coming making this video message, and I want to tell you, do not, if you are married, do not be married and miserable. The reason why I'm making this video is because I just got to be honest. There are a lot of married people out here who are absolutely miserable. And if you do not check and clean up the root or the source of your misery as a married man or a married woman, it will open up so many doors in your life, and you actually will bleed on people outside of your marriage that has nothing to do with the hurt, the pain, the anger, the disappointment, the irritation and frustration that you feel that's really coming from your spouse. It's an inside job. Now, before I dig into this message, let me let you all know something, because a lot of you all are very easy to get offended. You're easily triggered. You all are always looking, not all of you all, let me correct myself, but a lot of people online, you are always looking for an outlet. You're always looking for a way out. You're always looking for a reason or an excuse or some level of justification to why you want to unfollow somebody, why you want to cancel them, why you want to leave them. And you personalize certain messages. But for those of you who follow me on this platform, if you are married, I don't want you to personalize this. I'm saying this generally. I don't care if you're married and you are in Hollywood. I don't care if you're well known or you're not known. I am not targeting any specific person. This is generally for anybody that's married but you're miserable. So now that I got that out, let me continue. I want you all to know that at some point in your marriage, you have to be honest with your spouse, because it's safe to say that what you go through behind the scenes with your husband or your wife, it is not all of our business. It's not the business of your coworkers. It is not the business of your family members. It is not the business of your neighbors. It is not even the business, actually, of your children that are in the household. Now, your children may see or even hear certain arguments, or if some of you all are in a domestic violence situation, unfortunately, kids, depending on their ages, they are not dumb. They know when mommy and daddy are not feeling each other. They know when there is tension and hostility in the household. But even in that, you still have to not involve your children in a lot of things that goes on with you and your spouse. But what I am finding and what we are seeing is that a lot of married people out here, they don't want to be honest about the hurt and the pain and the distress that they're going through in their marriage. Even though it is not outsiders business what's going on with you and your spouse, you need to be able to trust an outside person or an outside source to let them know what it is you are going through. Now, the first person that you need to be going to, and the first person that you need to keep the head of your marriage is God. You have to keep God. Look, I cannot stress enough how God should be the center of every single aspect of your life. Since we're talking about marriage, I'm saying marriage. You have to keep God first, because when you don't keep God first and you feel like you're smart enough, you're strong enough, you're educated enough or whatever, then that is when you put God to the side and you trying to play like you God, and you trying to play like you know more than him and you can handle certain things that you know you can not. Because a lot of things that married people go through, and I am a formerly married woman, is spiritual. It's not even about necessarily anything in the physical. It is a spiritual demonic battle. And so, baby, you do need to trust somebody on the outside to let them know if you are in an abusive marriage, if your spouse is maybe gambling, if they drink, if they're addicted to the P word. You know what I'm saying? Corn. I'll say corn. Things of that nature. But the problem is with a lot of married people, some of you all in your marriage, you have become performative. You are not sincere about the love that you advertise as far as what you have for your husband or your wife. And because of us, being in a sightsee generation, so many people out here have a need to be seen. They want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want to perform, they want to put on a show for all these outside people on the web that really don't care about you. They really don't. But they do want to be nosy, and they want inside information that should be sacred and that should be private concerning your marriage. You think women out here don't want to know about what your man is doing for you and what's going on? You think men out here don't want to know how your woman is doing and if she's really happy and if you're pleasing her mind, body, and soul? Baby, people out here are demons. They are vultures. So any outlet that you're using and any little space that you leave cracked open and somebody feels comfortable enough to get into that, that's what they're going to do. And so a lot of married people are performative. They are putting things online. They are creating entire channels, putting out content, talking about how much they love their wife, talking about how much they love their husband, bragging on the things that their husband or their wife does. And I tell you all the time, there's nothing wrong with showing love and making it known that you are happy. But it's getting out of hand because people are doing it at such a high rate. But then we end up seeing that the wife is dead. We end up seeing that the husband is dead. We end up seeing that a husband or a wife is now on their way to jail because they attempted to delete their husband or their wife. We're seeing children being snatched outside of the homes in the middle of a married couple's dispute. We are seeing men take women out of town. They call it an alpine divorce, and women are coming up deceased. They are allegedly falling or tripping or slipping off a cliff, or they're wandering out somewhere in the woods or in the wilderness or around the trenches or around the mountains, and they're getting lost, and their husband is back at the crib chilling, but the wife is still not found. She's still missing. Men are taking their wives to the Bahamas. They taking them on vacays and bacays out the country, and the wife is nowhere to be found. It's too much going on. And see, when you're married and miserable, you will bleed on innocent people that are close to you. Let me give you all an example. If you really know that you are not happy in your marriage for whatever reason, see, it doesn't always have to be extreme, like somebody in a marriage is being beat, they're being abused, they came up deceased. Sometimes it's subtle things, meaning you just are being controlled by a spouse. You may have a spouse where you don't work. This goes for men and women. You might be a stay-at-home dad. You may be a stay-at-home man and you are not a father, but your wife is the breadwinner and she emasculates you. She takes control of you. You may be a woman that does not have a job. You don't have money saved. You are 100% dependent upon your husband and him paying bills. And he knows you don't have anywhere to go. He knows you don't have money. And so he controls you. He will beat you. He will talk down to you. He will sleep with countless other women. He will talk about you, tear you down in every way possible because he understands and knows that you're performative in a marriage. Outside people think you have the perfect husband and a perfect marriage and you're so happy, and he knows you're afraid to start over or go somewhere else. So a lot of you women that are in these marital situations, you'll bleed on other people. You'll go to your sister. You'll go to your best friend and you'll talk down to them if they're single. You will pick out what you feel is a fault or flawed about your sibling or about a certain friend or about a certain family member, and you will try to really down talk them or feel it's your job and it's your duty to check people that are on the outside and tell them how they need to clean up their life or what they need to do to improve messes in their lives. But yet and still, you have a big mess going on behind the scenes, and it's simply your marriage. You are not happy. You are not content. You are not fulfilled. We are in a time and an hour where you've got to be authentic about what it is you are experiencing. You've got to be authentic and real about what you're going through, because the moment you get past your fear, the moment you get past thinking and caring about what people would think about you and what they will say about you, the moment you break out of that prison, that may be the very thing that saves your life. That may be the very thing that heals your marriage. Remember, what you conceal cannot be healed. It cannot be dealt with. Now, what I'm going to tell you all is that being married and miserable is not something that people necessarily have to investigate. They don't necessarily have to be nosy and dig into your marriage. They are going to know, either from their discernment, they're going to know when you come around and how you walk and how you talk and how you act. Some married people, something that they do, this is one indicator that someone is married and miserable, when they are always obsessing and talking about what single people are doing. Now, it's safe to say that some married people, they really do care about single people and their well-being, and they want to teach them and give them tips and pointers on things they can do to be happier or to get their person. But let's just be real. We know that if someone is not fulfilled in their marriage, they have a lot of time on their hands, they're going to start looking at single people, because up underneath what they're saying to you, there is jealousy there. There is envy there. They wish they can get back to the level of freedom that you have, as far as not having to go home and worry about anybody telling you anything, questioning you about anything. You don't have the responsibility that a married person does. See, I know that roles appear to have switched and changed, where there are people making it appear, and they've been doing this for ages, where they make it appear like single people are bitter, miserable, and unhappy. But baby, when I tell you, now what we're seeing on a public display at a large rate, I'm talking about, there is a public spectacle of countless marriages being exposed for being fake, for being phony. Women are finding out their husbands are down low. Women are finding out their husbands are having outside children. Women are finding out that their husband had a whole nother woman posted up living somewhere else. Women are finding out that their husband was plotting and planning to get them deleted. Men are finding out their wife was still messing with an old ex. Married couples are seeing emails and text messages and finding pictures and voicemails. Is so many different things going on. And so what some married and miserable couples do, they will start to target single people that are out here, and we are minding our own business. We don't have a jealous bone in our body about who's married, especially those of us that have already been married. We already know what it is. And we have gotten to a point, we've been at a point for many years, where we are okay. If we never get remarried again, or some of the people that have never been married, they're okay if they never get married. Because when you are sold out and submitted to the Lord, whatever God has for you, you are content with that. You're okay with that. It's not meant for everybody to be married. And some Christian people in the single community, they're okay with that. But see, a married and miserable person, they will always have something to say about you. They will always have something to say about your single life. They will always have something to say about your girlfriend, if you got one, fellas. They will always have something to say about your boyfriend, if you got one, ladies. They will always put their mouth on you and your situation. And even if you don't have anybody in your life, just you being by yourself, just you trying to be a single mom or a single father, you may have to sweep up some loose ends. But married and miserable people, instead of paying attention to what's going on in their household and their marriage, they are watching you. On today, every married couple out here, I urge you to start being honest with your husband or your wife. You have got to fight for your happiness in your covenant. And this is what a lot of married people are not doing, because pride and ego is also at an all-time high. What people are doing, they're just walking away. The smallest thing that happens, I don't have to be with him, I'm filing in papers. I don't have to be with her, I'm a file in papers. Well, you know what, it's cheaper to keep her, so I'm gonna stay married, but I'm gonna have a girlfriend over here, I'm gonna have a side dude over here. If I make a baby, oh well, I'm gonna take care of my outside family, but I still go home to my wife every day. You all have got to start being real, because let me tell you something, that this is definitely a warning. Even if you are not real about the misery and the breakdown of your covenant, which is your marriage, is going to get exposed. These secret things that people are trying to hide, and they're putting up a pristine white sheet to trick everybody. They are whitewashing and performing their marriage. They're saying, well, I didn't want to tell this and I didn't want to tell that because I wanted to protect my husband. Well, I ain't want to say this or say that because I want to protect my wife. You can do all that all you want, but see, if someone's life in their marriage is on the line, or children's lives are at stake, or someone's mental, spiritual, or emotional health is at stake, then what's going to happen is that it's going to get exposed. The Bible says there is no secret thing or anything that is hidden that will not be brought to the light. And so when you study that and dig deep into that, it's about deception. It's about immoral and illegal things that are going on. And guess what? Immoral, illegal, and wrong things go on in marriages all the time. And we are so slowly seeing it unfold. Married people, if you have an issue with your husband, all the wives, you need to address your husband. You need to find a way to go to your husband and tell your husband, babe, it's too much for me. I am overwhelmed. You are sleeping around. You're cheating on me. And if it's a safety issue, because if you go to your husband about his infidelity, that he will try to hurt you, this is why I say you've got to find an outside source that is safe. You have to. You got to go to God. For a lot of you all, at some point, you just stopped going to God. You got way too comfortable in your marriage, and you felt like, well, I'm falling in love. I got the woman. I got the man. I got the house. I got the job. I got the car. I got everything. And you all stopped going to God. You've been trying to handle your covenant on your own. So now Satan is in the midst of it. And all of these different things are going on. Some of you women, you're too caught up on your career. You're too caught up on your job. And see, if you weak and you looking at social media with these women talking about they want the soft life and they ain't got to deal with nothing from a man or their husband, they on their own thing and they gonna be on their own thing. If you're watching these type of influencers and these type of women that has no respect for a covenant, no respect for marriage, they do not know God, the spirit of the living God is not in them, then you will fall prey to that, and before you know it, you will stop consulting with the Lord. Get back to your family. Stop always being the type of woman or the type of man, knowing you married, and you're always on the scene, partying, kicking it, drinking, smoking, clubbing, dancing, twerking, gossiping with your friends. Get back to your family. There are people out here who are crying and begging God. Begging God. They're in a desperate position where they are begging God for a husband or for a wife. And some of you all got a husband right at home. You got a wife right at home and you're not even paying them no attention. You are so disgustingly arrogant and full of yourself. You think the world it revolves around you. You think it's all about you. And at the same time, your husband is breaking down. Your wife is breaking down. Your children are breaking down. You've got to pay attention. One thing about Satan will make you think that you're right. He will make you think you're right in a certain situation. And guess what? After he uses you, and after you done partied and twerked and You done clubbed and drank and smoked and had your little affairs and you kicking it, and you done dogged out your husband and all your co-workers, your friends and family members. You done dogged out your wife to all your co-workers, your friends, your family members, your church members. Satan will laugh at you and dispose of you. And you look around and your entire family is destroyed. Satan's job is to kill, steal, and destroy. So don't think that you're so wise and so smart that you're exempt from Satan doing this to you. The Bible also says, people will count themselves wise and become fools. They will be made fools. God will also catch you in your craftiness. He will. You think you so wise and you so crafty at what you do, and you will get caught up in your craftiness. That's Bible. That's Bible. Y'all think that this is a joke. Whether you want to accept or believe that God exists or Jesus Christ exists or the Bible is fake and it was rewritten by different men, it's real and it's playing out. So whether you want to accept it or not, what's going to happen is going to happen by the divine hand of the Lord. But before it gets to that point, God's grace and mercy is so good. He's giving you all the opportunity to humble yourself. When you humble yourself, the land will be healed. The land for a lot of you all, and the topic of this hour is marriage. Stop being married and miserable. When you are married and miserable, you can put on a fake smile. You can be performative all you want, but you will start bit by bit to be found out. A lot of inside information that you think only you and your spouse know, it will start to leak out slowly but surely. Go to God about your husband and his lust problem or his hidden homosexuality spirit. Go to God about your wife or her hidden lesbian spirit or her infidelity or her disrespect of you. Go to God about the financial problems that you may be having with your spouse. Go to God about the problems you're having with your spouse disrespecting you. Go to God about the fact that you may have a lazy husband that does not want to work. Go to God about your wife if she's lazy and doesn't want to cook and clean. There can be something deeper there. Depression is real. I know it because I lived through it when I was married. Why people will judge you and say, this person is lazy. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. No, it's a spirit from the pits of hell that will keep you immobile where you don't want to do anything. That's real talk. We'll talk about this deeper. That's the video message. Well, guys, it's time for me to go because I have some other things to do. The Lord willing, I will be back with another video message. If any one of you have taken offense to anything I spoke about in this video, it's okay. It's all right. I'm not worried about it. I am not concerned because I know you will forgive me in the morning.